What's going on, guys? Welcome to Double Tigers. You guys already know it's the Double Tiger Show. You know I can't do it without one of my main men on here, Otaku. What's going on?
Hey, hey, bub, how's your week?
Not bad. How about yours?
It was pretty emotional. I know there's a lot going on. Um, there's the fires in LA, and
Yeah,
our thoughts and prayers with everybody there just to be
everybody
safe.
affected. Yeah, everybody
Everybody
affected.
affected.
And then
We
there's a
lost
but
cousin
yeah,
Carter.
really cold and really snowstorms on top of that, on top of
Right.
fires,
So,
fires on the west coast, and then it on the east. It's freaking giant
mm,
snowstorms. So,
absolutely, and President Carter was laid to rest,
oh yeah, yeah.
and
Carter passed away last 2 weeks ago, something like that.
he passed away about 2 weeks. Yeah, about
Yeah, but
2 weeks
yeah,
ago.
we put him
Um,
to rest this week, but he passed 2 weeks ago or something like that. So that's
and my my uncle passed on my dad's side. My
okay.
dad's older brother passed away this week as well. So I just want to dedicate this show to him, Uncle D. You know, we're thinking about you. He passed away in Korea, so I couldn't really go out for the funeral.
Right,
Um,
right, right.
but my parents are out there, and we talked about. He's 92 years old. Um, my dad looked, considered him like his father,
Mm-hmm.
and he made sure, like, we understood that, he's like my dad's father figure essentially,
Yeah, yeah,
and yeah, losing him it's still kind of dealing with the emotions a little bit, but
yeah.
I know he's in a better place. He's a guy who had a lot of demons in his past. He's a Vietnam War vet.
Oh, okay,
The guy
okay.
drank like a fish,
Yeah,
but relatively healthy, even though he was like just a raging alcoholic. Um, but he he's one of those like hardworking, never complain, just you know, just good guy all around. So want to just dedicate this show to Uncle D, and hope he's uh, finally at peace. Rest his soul. So, all right, yeah,
yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It's like if it's not one thing, it's another. You know what I mean? It's freaking. What a lot of people are talking about, like the LA the fires are freaking ridiculous, man. The winds, the man,
it's crazy. I mean, I've
yeah,
never seen
yeah.
a fire do that kind of
I
damage ever.
I stayed out there for a little bit in high school time, and they had wildfires out there, but nothing this crazy.
Yeah,
Nothing like where it would freaking jump and then it would.
and it's like, the Palisades are like the nicest. It's like
Yeah,
a luxurious neighborhood. It's like the richest.
yeah.
It's like where
But
the
my
Hollywood
biggest thing
stars all
is
live. You ever been to
all the
Hollywood?
coverage is
It's
covering
homeless right now.
all the stars, all the them losing their houses. Dude, the regular people are hurt worse than you guys, and then it doesn't help that the insurance pulled freaking fire coverage on top of that.
I mean, all our insurance rates are going to go up because of this event.
Yeah.
It's
Well, now, yeah, this event and
yeah.
then the East Coast is for
I
Florida
mean,
is the hurricanes.
they gotta these insurance companies. They gotta screw everybody over because they have a big payout coming out soon. Big payout coming up soon because of the fire. Now
Right.
all our home insurance rates are going to go up, which just sucks. But
Yeah.
again, it's just one of those situations. Yep, a lot of people affected.
Yeah.
Air quality. I mean, it's just a horrible
Yeah.
just a horror. I mean, it's like looking at like a war zone. Everybody's saying
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
like they dropped a bomb right in the Hollywood Hills, right? So
But the biggest thing is a lot of people thinking it's it's like it was intentional. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, I mean, we don't know the details, but I'm sure it was like somebody
right.
just was doing something stupid, like maybe
Yeah.
burning garbage or something. I mean, that was how I would think it started, and then with the winds,
Right.
all it takes is a spark, right? Just one spark to just start the whole thing. So that's good. That's good advice. Yeah, it's a good time to review your insurance policies, because don't go with the big guys. Go with a newcomer, because the newcomers are going to give you great rates. So it might be time to review your policy, and if they try to jack up your rates this year, just go to someone else. I mean, there's a lot of business out there. My wife and I are talking about like possibly just going to Costco. Costco has insurance now, like auto insurance and home insurance. We might just go to Costco because they're cheap. Costco insurance.
Bundle everything. Bundle your Costco membership with your insurance. Yeah.
But it's gonna just definitely be harder.
Yeah, it's this year is gonna be a pain in though the insurance is gonna be pain in the butt for East Coast and West Coast and everybody else. But West Coast and East Coast are gonna be, especially Floridians and especially Californians are gonna have
weather related stuff this year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We're gonna feel that damn insurance insurance for sure. Everybody is, but I'm saying like East Coast and West Coast are gonna feel it hard because of the fire. One point of fire, and then the other point is Milton and all the other freaking hurricanes that were over here. So it's like, yeah, but yeah.
Maui's another great example of just like, you know, the high winds. I mean, there's a risk for all of us because these high wind events are becoming. I mean, we just had one here in Washington. Luckily, it was wet. It wasn't really dry and fire conditioning, but it knocked out power. We were out of power for like 5 days, right? It's just from the winds. So it's like any dry place with high winds is now potential like wildfire zone, and that just sucks because you just can't. I mean, where you move to, right? There's nowhere to go.
But the biggest I feel pain for the collectors if people who collected.
So imagine if this had happened in like downtown proper, right? And think of all the comic book shops in downtown proper. I mean, you would have just lost probably like at least 10% of the country's like comic books in LA, right? Because I would imagine 10% of the books in America are there in like that LA County area.
Right. I can imagine just imagine the collectors in general, the shops in general, the collectors in general. But dude, a lot of people have a lot of favorite books. How are you gonna, are you gonna go with a short box or go with a go box or
Right? We don't know where Nicolas Cage lives, but I would imagine Cage lives in the Palisades, and maybe his collection just got, his Superman one got burnt to a crisp. Who knows?
Yeah.
We just don't know the impact yet, but there's got to be some. I'm imagining there's a lot of comic books that were maybe lost in this fire. We just don't know the impact.
Dude, a lot of comic books, freaking anything, art. You know what I mean? All kinds of stuff were lost in this fire. Yeah.
Yeah, Cage has a huge collection. Is it safe? That's what I want to know. I want to know if Cage is safe and if his collection is safe.
Right. Yeah, that's the biggest thing is what. Yeah.
Oh, did he? Okay, that's nice to know. So,
Yeah, because he had to sell it. I remember last time I heard it, that
Yeah,
I thought he sold it.
he sold a bunch of
Yeah,
big books.
yeah. Then yeah, he sold a bunch of the big books. But and then since we're
Got big
bringing up
big bucks for the his books.
yeah, but since we're talking about comic books in general, and well, CGCs have been price hiked.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes, the price hike CGC. So we know CGC is the market leader in
right,
selling and grading books. I am not a proponent of CGC.
right. Not none of us are, but it's a necessary like people say it's a necessary evil because if you're gonna go if you have to sell something, the biggest thing is our the biggest thing is the grading part is you can say it's one grade, you know what I mean? I can say it's one grade. Yeah, but if that you know the biggest the it's a net I mean there's other grading companies, but
Well, the whole idea of
yeah,
that
encasing
the
it.
graded comics are there's a market for that
Yeah,
is to me funny.
yeah.
So
Because
it really only
because
boils down to
when we were kids, there was nothing like this.
no.
You know what I mean?
It's
We
it's a
didn't. We did. Yeah,
it's a byproduct of the card market because the cards,
yeah,
people just used to keep cards protected in
yeah.
like a
Those little, yeah,
little
the little
holders.
cases. Yeah, but think
Now
about
you
it.
need
Books,
it.
you read it. You
Yeah,
read books, so it's like you can't even read it. So I can understand if you can digitally scan your own book and you can, digitally read, still digitally read it. That'd be cool. But you can't even do that. Like, there's no digital code on here to, scan it where you can actually look, still look through the book digitally. You know what I mean?
that would be cool. Hey, that's a business idea right there.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
CGC or PGX, one of them is going to end up taking it.
business idea.
Yeah, because we can
You're,
grade because
you're
the
actually
biggest.
what you do is you scan the pages of
Mm,
the owner's comic book, so there would be
right,
no copyright issue, right?
right,
You're just
right.
giving them a scan of their book.
Hmm. That would
That's
be, yeah,
yeah,
that would be the way the freaking, if you're gonna at least grade it, you could, if you wanted to read it, at least you can digitally scan a code or whatever it is, and you can read your own book. That would be cool.
ads and all.
That
Yeah,
would be, yeah, that would be good. That would be great. But right now, all it is you're encasing it in plastic like the card. Yeah,
this is all you need.
yeah.
This is all you need. Don't throw your money away.
Or one of those
Learn to
one.
grade your own books. Learn to
Yeah.
grade your own books. Now, the only reason you'd get a book graded is because if you wanted to sell it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to, I mean, I know some people just want the slab. They think the slab looks nice and all that.
Right.
But realistically, do you really want like a bunch of just slab books in your collection? No, like
The main reason I slabbed, the main reason I slapped the first three and the last two are because they're worth the most
a lot.
out
Yeah,
of out of the group. That's the only reason. If it was, because just in case I need to get rid of it, I know the first three and the back two, or at least I know I can get a certain amount for them. So it's like,
and it is an investment. So if if you want to get at the end of the day, if you want to like kind of cash out with
right,
whatever you're collecting, I think having it slabbed and graded does raise the value
right,
versus
and
having it
then
raw.
because instead of, like you said, learn how to grade, but the biggest issue is if you're trying to get rid of it, you can say it's one grade, you can say it's that grade, but the person that wants to buy it might not agree with you that it is,
Yeah.
like
So
we'll say it's an 8 or something like that, and he doesn't think it's an 8. You know what I mean? So
that's
at
my point.
least,
If you're going to
yeah,
sell the book, if you're going to sell the book,
hmm,
ultimately get it graded, right?
right,
But if you're going to keep the book, there's no purpose to slabbing
right,
it, in my opinion.
right,
Right? If it's going to stay in your collection, all you want to do, and you just want it protected, right? There's ways to protect it.
Right.
And if you know how to grade your own books, you don't need CGC to tell you what the grade is, right?
Right.
You should know how to grade your own books and come to a determination of what the grade is. Now, if I'm trying to sell it, yes, I can tell you it's a 9.4, but I'd rather have CGC say it's a 9.4 and sell it to you.
Yeah. And then there's no argument of
There's
it's
no
a
argument.
9.4.
Yeah, if you're trying to sell
Yeah,
it. But again,
right.
how many of us are really collecting to sell books? I mean, some of us are.
Right. But the biggest thing is just that mine are just in case. Mine are like the Vampy 1, the Vampy 3, the Vampy 2, 112, 113, or
those
just
are
in
big,
case.
Those are big books. So let's take a step back.
Right.
Big books, older books, definitely worth grading.
Right.
Definitely worth grading. I don't want to minimize that because it's an investment. It's a big book.
Right.
It's an investment.
Right.
But I'm talking about, just your average.
Yeah. Like the books that just come out.
The books that just come out, or just even like minor keys or whatever. Even like a book like this, a signed book like this, right? You really need this slabbed and graded.
No, that's the only the very first time I ever slapped the book was because I got it signed. That's the only reason I slapped it, was because the signature. That's like the low pan book. You know what I mean? The Big Trouble Little China book. That's the only reason. Yeah, that's the only reason I slapped it was
signature series though. That's different. You're getting it verified. That has value. Signature witnessing and all that.
Right.
But we're talking about overall fees and stuff. It's just more expensive to submit a book now. They raised everything across the board: grading, shipping, pressing, everything. So
but like we saw it coming because they bought freaking JSA or whatever it is, the authentication. So we knew this was coming. It's just we just didn't know how fast it was going to be coming because they bought the authentication.
Authentication.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they bought those guys. So eventually, it was going to trickle down to everything because they bought them. So they're going to go, hey, we need to increase it because we need to pull a little bit of money here and there. So let's increase here, let's increase there. So
what bugs me about them raising prices is, first of all, they haven't changed anything.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't improved their processes.
What scares me more is that they're going to high school job fairs and looking for part-time workers. You know what I mean? So it's like,
so you got a bunch of like idiots grading your book,
or not even idiot, but they're training.
I've seen so many instances of just wrong grades. I'm sorry, it's like anybody can see this is not a 9.8. It's like a 9.2.
Right. But like my biggest joke, I always make fun of everybody, make fun of anybody that goes grade. I go, if they didn't like their grade, I go, you should have slipped a 20 in the book and then just sent it with it. You probably would have got what you wanted.
Kind of what it is. It feels like that's what it is. The service is not consistent.
Yeah. And then that they renewed. Oh no. They created a new plastic. You remember the whole issue with the new plastic that would go.
Bengate.
Yeah, the Bengate.
No, they haven't replaced them, Jeff.
No, I know that, but I'm saying, yeah, but they're saying it's a 9.8, but that damn thing bent it inside your slab. So is it still a 9? You know what I mean? You set the 9.8.
And that's what I'm talking about. It's like they bent it, and so it's like an 8.5 now, but it's sitting there in a 9.8 label.
Right.
Who's gonna?
Are you gonna? Right. Who's gonna? You know what I mean?
That, right.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. If you have to get a book, and the grade says something, and you have to actually look at it and verify as a buyer whether it's that grade, what's the point of getting the service?
Right.
What's the point of getting the service if there's no consistency or quality associated with the grading.
Oh yeah,
You're basically paying for nothing at that point.
The one book you mentioned
case.
before, the one book you mentioned last week ended up on one of the hot lists last week.
Yeah, they're all ending up on the hot lists.
No, that Lobo one ended up number 10 on CBSI's hot list.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that ended up on 10, and then well, we do me and you talked about Omega Man.
Lobo book. I actually submitted. That it was the first battle between Guy Gardner and Lobo, and it's now a key collector. It's on Key Collector now as a key.
Like I told you, all it takes is us mentioning anything.
Well, I actually submitted it to them. I submitted it to them, so they accepted the submission. But that's how we do it on Double Tiger.
Yeah, but all it takes, all it takes is us mentioning anything, and it seems to end up on either some type of list. Vampy still hasn't ended up on the list yet, so that not yet.
There. Dude, there's a lot of there's a lot of Vampy stuff. What are you talking about? I see.
No, I'm messing. But I'm messing. It's just it depends on what type of Vampy stuff. A lot of people just Vampy don't wear pants. I go. Dude, if you don't read it, if you just look at the covers, she don't wear pants on the covers. she has pants. I
think we need just naked heroes. You know what I mean? Just like they're a hero and they're nudist. They're nudists. That would be a lot of fun with covers and stuff because you just have them nude. They'd just be like. You know.
Yeah, well, then it'd be behind black bags. Then it would be more black bags or caution tape across the certain areas.
Right, you could do that.
We
need a nude superhero.
Yeah,
like buck naked. No costume whatsoever. Yeah, the nudist times. I'd buy that comic book. Jeff, I know you would.
Yeah. Just
get all the variant covers and everything.
Yeah, but it's like CGC's raising rates, and pretty much CGC's raising rate as soon as CGC as soon as it gets announced, freaking the Palisades.
To be honest, I don't know if we use CGC over CBCS. CBCS.
Well, the biggest thing was CBCS. If you didn't notice about the community, who that ended up getting his book last year at I think New Orleans Comic or New Orleans Fan Fest or Fan Expo or whatever it was, that he resubmitted his X-Men book. And they ended up taking it, stealing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or somehow it ended up. They said it ended up lost or whatever, and he had to go to the airport to pick his book back up.
Is that the CBCS?
Yeah, it was CBCS that ended up losing it.
Dang.
Yeah, it wasn't CGC. It was CBCS. So that's why a lot of people are iffy about both companies, man. It's not just CGC. CBCS is having a lot of issues too.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that issue with the CBCS. I was just like, the CBCS slabs are nicer. The labels are better now, and
right.
In terms of grading, it seems like their grading is as good.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. CBCS is a good. Yeah, it's they're harder graders, and but they have a track. They both have bad track records. Both of them don't have spotless track records. You know what I mean? And then
just keep your books raw, man. Buy raw books.
What? Yeah, if they're minor keys, keep them raw. But if they're like expensive books, then think about it. But even expensive books,
you gotta think about it. CGC charges what?
Yeah,
it's like 4% of FMV.
Yeah. So for the expensive books,
let's take a $10,000 book.
Right.
what are you paying CGC at 4%?
Jesus, 4%.
It's 400 bucks.
Yeah.
$400 to grade your book. Think
Yeah.
about
So
it. I mean, I'm just saying, if you have a $10,000 book and you want to pay $400 to have it graded, that's a big cost right there. Versus just having it.
Right.
And you grading it yourself.
Right. Yeah, but the problem is us grading it. No, there's no issue of us grading it ourselves. It's just the problem of.
I'm just saying, like, if you were to put a raw copy on the market, right, versus a CGC copy,
you'll get more for that.
About the same thing, and you're gonna be able to keep the $400. Right. It's not like a 7.5 slabbed is worth more than a 7.5 raw.
Right.
It's not. And you might actually get a little, if you say,
it's
like
over 4. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
4%. So it's over 400.
Oh, over 400.
Eesh.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's still bad, dude. And who's? But if you're gonna be with $1,000 book or 10,000, whatever it is,
calculate what your Vampy is worth and what it would cost if you submitted it.
Resubmitted it this time around. Yeah, it's about 1,000. Yeah, 1,000. Yeah. 1,005. So yeah.
You're paying what?
So
4% of 1,000.
Yeah. 4% of 1,000.
$40 for the.
Yeah.
That's not bad. $40.
Right. Yeah. So but if that book keeps on going, if it goes up more, it's get coming more out of pocket.
On 1,000.
Yeah, probably like 40 something bucks, 50 something. Something like that.
$40. You're paying $40 to get a $1,000 book slab. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Is when you get a 10,000, that's like $400. That's
But if you're able to afford a $10,000 book, you know what I mean, or any type of book that's in that price area, you're not $400 ain't not gonna hurt. That's just me being, if you're buying like expensive books, they're super expensive.
Well, no, okay, so think about it. Let's say you bought a giant size X-Men for like, let's say a minty copy, right? Like a 9, let's say a 9.4 giant size X-Men. That's about 10K book, right?
Right.
That means you would have to have bought it for 9,600.
Right.
In order to justify getting it slab to at least get you even to what it's worth.
Right.
So if you bought it raw, you would have had to buy it for at least 9,600 or less.
Right.
In that grade. On top of $400 to get it slab, now you've got it to the $10,000 level. You better hope that thing goes up.
Right.
Because if it doesn't, then you're screwed.
Right.
If you're trying to flip it or sell it, right? But
right.
Again, if you're keeping a book like that of that caliber, think about it. Then get it slabbed. There's no loss to you. You're just adding. You're adding that peace of mind. Okay, I have it in a certain grade. It's in my collection. It's protected.
Right. But the biggest thing I see the plus on grading and protecting the books are not for us. It's for like the wife or your wife or whoever, later down the line. Oh, hey, Otaku has this stuff. I can get, he's not here no more, but I can at least know if she can look. It'd be easier for them to look it up.
Yeah.
It means it costs this much or whatever it is. It helps out the person. It helps later down the line. You know what I mean? It's not right at this moment.
Bend your books or damage your books.
Right. But it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. We're on. We disagree and agree on certain things about it, but see, they both don't have good. They both of these grading companies don't have good track records at all. So it's like,
I just think the overall like the value of grading
mhm,
is being inflated.
right.
Because these grading companies, they just figure like, hey, we're providing this very valuable service
But
of
it's
grading your book.
but if you think about it, it's the same thing like what Diamond is now. What Diamond used to be was the only thing in town. CGC was the only thing in town, but now CGC has CBCS, and now PSA is gonna about to get into this game. So it's gonna be three different companies, and right now, Diamond's the same way, where it has Lunar, it has Penguin on their behinds now, and now they're not gonna be eventually eventually the new boys in town PSA, because I heard PSA was trying to get into the comic grading game. So if if PSA does well enough, or whenever they start coming with decent slabs and grit,
I don't think PSA is going to do well initially.
no,
No,
right,
because um, you have to invest a lot into um, a process, the
right,
process of grading comic books.
right,
Um, and that's what got CGC into trouble. They didn't think their process through. Their process is flawed,
right.
and they haven't fixed it yet. And I don't see it why people continue to use the service that's flawed. You know, they said, "Oh
You
yeah,
got
we've made our inner sleeves a little bit more impenetrable." Well, BS. It's the same inner well system
right,
from before, so you could swap out books and do all the crazy stuff that people were doing. They haven't fixed that.
right,
And so I don't understand, like, you have to address that first before you raise prices, right?
right,
And the thing is, um, what's really uh, sort of sad is a lot of collectors don't care. They don't care that CGC service is really just crap. It's like,
right,
it's not really. I don't see any value in it whatsoever, because the grading sucks. The process of the whole thing is that they just put it in this like inner sleeve and then slab it, right? That's the service. The grading isn't
right.
there. And then the whole census count, whatever, people can like remove books and stuff. Like, you can do
Yeah,
it.
but and then when they remove books, they don't take it off. I noticed they don't take them off the census either.
They don't. So
Yeah,
it's like, it's a
it
flawed
inflates the census
process and
because
system, and people continue to pay into this thing
yeah,
blind to the fact that like no one cares about the CGC grade anymore. Buyers don't,
right.
buy, like, they're not going to pay a premium anymore just because it says like 9.6 or 9.4 on it, right?
Well, there's
Um,
too many 9.8s, and there are too many like they were talking about previously, like a couple, was it like a year ago or so, where they were going, oh, we're gonna start these 9.9s, 10s, because there's too many 9.8s on the market. You know what I mean?
all I'm saying
And
is, if I see a 9.6 book on eBay,
yeah,
I'm going to look over that thing with a fine tooth comb, and I'm
right,
still going to be skeptical,
right,
because you actually have to hold the book like this and look at you have to look at the curvature of the thing now, make sure it doesn't have the the splotch. What is it? What do they call that?
oh, the rainbow
Ring.
juice
Yeah,
all over the book.
the Newton rings. You got to make sure it doesn't
Newton
have
rings,
Newton
yeah,
rings.
Newton
I
rings, or like a lot of us like to call it the rainbow juice all over the book.
yeah. I mean, if you're buying slabs in person, that's good. I think to look over the book like you would a raw book, right, would be better. But if you're buying a slab online, you're taking such a big risk, especially on a big book.
Right,
So, and that's a harder sell. And that's what a lot of these people, these collectors, are paying the service for. Like, hey, I can sell this online because it's got
right,
the grade. Well, no one's gonna trust CGC grading online now. It's just the trust is gone.
I mean, the trust has been gone for a little while, since a lot of issues with them, like like they talked about it a couple of years ago, where a book had got, like me and you talked about it before we got online, was that those plastic covers on them, the acetate covers on them. You know what I mean? And they graded them 9.9s, 10s. How? When it's another book that got pierced with with staples. You know, a piece of plastic pierced the book with staples. So it's like, how is that okay? It's like, and didn't get a green label, didn't get, but got blue labels saying they were 9.9s.
I saw a video where, obviously CGC doesn't talk about their internal process. They keep it very secret.
Right.
But you could tell, like, books are sitting on people's desks.
Right.
It's on desks, like, where people could, it's not like people are wearing gloves. There's this like museum kind of, think about how much time it would take to put on gloves and doodle. No, these people are like treating your books like.
But if you watched, I think Tom had asked this Comic Tom had done an interview with one of them, or with somebody, I forget, and then they were at like some big con, and the guy grabbed the book and just, you know what I mean, not willing, like willing, bare hands. If you're gonna handle that type of stuff, the hands from the oils from our hands can destroy paper. So it's like, and then you're gonna encase it anyway.
No UV protection on the slabs yet.
Yeah, and then you're gonna protect the book, but there's no, dude. All this investment in the plastic, all this investment in grading it, all this money that we're gonna raise the money. If you're gonna raise the money, raise the bar for the slab. At least UV protect the slab. If you're gonna keep on raising rates, or do something with the slab that to protect it better. Like, people can still crack slabs, so it's like
they got to cycle through their inventory. Yeah. They have probably a crap load of pre-produced slabs.
Right.
They have to get through before they can redesign the next generation of plastic.
Right.
Think about it. For their bottom line, they probably have mountains of these like plastic slabs that they have to get through before they can actually reinvent something. And that's why I think PSA is at a disadvantage. You have to have those cost controls in place.
Right.
And you really need to have a good product. And I think the thing that they launched at San Diego, I think they kind of introduced the label and what the slab would look like. People were not excited about it. It looked kind of like their cards and stuff. It just didn't have appeal. So they got to go back to the drawing board and redesign it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, for them to launch something with confidence, like, this is our service, that's going to take time, it's going to take money, and it's going to take a lot of feedback from the community. So they're nowhere near launching a service to compete with CGC at this point. I think your best bet is CBCS. If you're going to submit a book, their prices are relative. I mean, they're still solid, right? They were right around CGC's rates before this hike.
Just make sure you get your book back. What CBC is.
Well, I mean, if that happens on mass scale, then they're going to go out of business because no one's going to use them. So hopefully those are just isolated incidents. But that is concerning. Yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah, because what they had said to him was, "Oh, we gave your book to a different person." When I'm the person that dropped it out, how would you give it to another person? That's my biggest thing.
Yeah, that's just like, hopefully they straighten it out.
They straightened it out. I'm just saying it was still not right. You know what I mean? It's still not okay. It's like, if I'm the you see me, you see me drop it off. You have my information. You can, I mean, you can call
What
or
do you think of
whatever.
the CS labels, though?
They're not. I like them. I like them better than the CGC ones. They don't sit as funny in CGCs because because the Tally Ho one is a CBCS. So if you look at it, it's a CBCS book, and then I got the CGC one right next to me. But yeah, that
See,
label
that's your
is a
old
lot.
label. I'm talking about the new
Yeah.
labels. What do you think of their?
No, yeah, but the old label or the new label, they still sit like this. But I think the new labels are similar to this one, but they see that doesn't look right, man. Because at least if that label, even if the new one sits, the label sits the same way, it's harder to pull the label out of this one. You know what I mean? Because this one, all you got to do is slip that label out.
I say we start a grading company. You and I start a grade. Call it Double Tiger Grading.
Wouldn't be. I want. Yeah, and then.
We promise we won't steal your books.
Then we can digitally scan it, and then they can actually read their books on the same time. They don't have to, you know what I mean? Even if they slab it. So. Yeah.
Well, what else has been going on in comic books? I think I sent you something. No, I sent you the CGC thing.
Yeah, you sent me the CGC thing, and then let's see. The hot 10 list. I got to see cover price, so I'll bring that up real quick, and we can look at it and we can talk about it. Share screen. Yeah.
Lobo's hot.
Well, yeah, we knew that already. We caught that one.
Still hot.
But right now, CBC. This is
the Marvel video game is hot too, right? The
Marvel because skins. Jeff is number 9. It's Jeff. Yep, the shark. And then because what was it? Another the Fantastic Four one is getting one of the books is getting hot because it's a skin for Sue Storm. Yeah.
The hate
and then
issue,
there's a
the burn Fantastic Four, right?
Yep.
Hate issue.
Yeah.
That's a nice cover, by the way.
Yeah, but and then it's 10 is this one because it's Wolverine's first on the in this universe. It's pretty much Nick Fury and his first appearance in this one.
Okay.
That's the main reason it's on 10.
Nice.
And then it's a limited cover, or it's like a incentive cover, or it's like cut off. I think it's I think it's a cutoff cover, or order cutoff. And then we know why Jeff's the Shark's on there already, so because of the game. And then we know why this one's on there because of Crypto.
That cover.
Yeah. And then this one because it's the first appearance of all 3 of these guys.
Oh,
yeah, the Trinity.
Okay.
For their universe, their you know what I mean, for their universe, for their universes, and then the Living Dead, the Return of the Living Dead is because of the artist.
Yeah, the Mark Spears stuff is trending
because he's everybody's comparing him to Alex Ross pretty much. If you look at some of his stuff, like a lot of his the Bride and all that stuff, I can see why they compare him to Alex Ross. And then this one,
Todd's always on the list. So Todd's always going to be on something.
Yeah, well, it's the black and white, and it's the 1 in 50. That's the only reason it's on the list. Being honest. If it wasn't a black and white, if it wasn't a 1 in 50, I don't think it'd be on the list. If it was just a normal cover that he didn't have 1 in 50 on it,
it's gonna be somebody's gonna. The people love collecting Todd, so that's always gonna be
Lobo number 1. So I'm assuming this is his first series, right?
Yep.
That's the main reason, and then the
great business.
Yeah. last sold 186. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then another another 1 in
Red
50.
Booth. Look at that.
Yeah, another 1 in 50. Honestly, I think if that thing was being honest, Brett, if it wasn't a Brett Booth and if it wasn't a if it wasn't a 1 in 50, I don't think it'd be on this list. Being honest. Yeah, if that thing wasn't a 1 in 50, I don't think it'd be on the list.
Yeah, I mean, Spawn. Spawn's a dime a dozen book. I don't see value in it, but yeah, people love Spawn. People still love collecting it.
Yeah, I understand that, man. But like I said, if you didn't have this 1 in 50 and it was just like an A variant or B variant or something like that, and it wasn't a 1 in 50, I don't think this would be here. You know what I mean? Oh, Rob Liefeld. Like
that's a cool cover though.
Mm-hmm. But like they were joking around. He had this one sitting around since the 90s, and then he just threw it on a cover.
That's not Cable.
No, but I'm joking around. He had it sitting since the 90s. So he went, let me just throw some a mohawk on him and and some pouches on him. You notice there's no feet because he can't draw feet, so it's only upper body.
Why you got to go there, Jeff? Why? You know, Rob. No disrespect.
Like I said, but it wouldn't be up here if it wasn't for this. You see where I'm circling? If it wasn't a 1 in 50, I don't think it'd be on the list.
I hear you.
Being honest, if it was just a normal cover, a B or A or a C cover, this thing wouldn't be on here. But because it's a 1 in 50, it's harder to come by because you have to order 50 issues of this just to get this cover.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason it's on here. Half of half of that stuff. And then we knew what number 1 would have been. We talked about it last week.
No surprise there.
Well, no surprise to us at all. We talked about it. So
he's the flavor of the week right now.
Logo. Right. Yep. And he ain't even the one. He's not gonna be the one that looks like this. Looks like the Kiss character on here. Yeah. So that's if you want to see what the runners ups were they're down here. So they're all the way down on the bottom. Runners ups were right here.
Yeah, so another Todd covers are pretty cool.
Yeah, another Todd book. Batman, Absolute Batman. 2 Absolute Batman.
Didn't I show off the Spider-Man one? That exact same book? Is that the platinum?
Yeah, I think that's the platinum one.
Okay, I showed off the silver, right?
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago.
Hold on, I think it gives it. Nope, actually, don't give me the list.
That looks like the silver.
Yeah, it might be the silver.
Yeah,
I gotta get a closer look at it later, but
I recommended like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but and then these guys, then the monster could, like I said, the Mark Spears guy is getting a lot of play right now because of the monster books.
Yeah,
but I'll be interested to see if he does anything else besides well, he's done a lot of other stuff, but I wouldn't mind seeing him, draw a Vampy, draw, some other stuff besides monsters. You know what I mean? It'd be kind of cool to see other covers. But number 11, because of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, or Falcon and Red Hulk, this is another 1 in 50, I think, or 1 in 100 or something like that. I forget this cover here, number 11.
Is that coming out next week, or like it's coming out soon, right? Next month?
Yeah. The movie or the cover? Yeah, the movies. I think it's next month. Yeah, and then there's a Dollar Bin book on here.
Yeah. Evangeline is, what's her name?
Angeline, I think. I think it's the Angeline book, but I'm
Evangeline?
surprised she's but I'm surprised she's even on this list at all.
No, they're
But I
coming
think
out with
there's
a movie, aren't they?
oh yeah, a movie or a series, something. The last time I've heard, I think it was movie or series,
So
something
lame.
like that.
It's so lame.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
buy that book.
But it's a dollar bin book. It's always been a dollar bin
You're
book.
gonna pay under $1 for it. Don't spec on that book.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Spears it's hot.
Yeah. Mark, because it's him. It's Mark Spears. It's not just because of the monsters. It's Mark Spears art on. Yeah, because they could have got Alex Ross or Mark, either one of them to draw those monsters. It's just the name of the person that drew that brought them.
Well, they're great covers too. I mean,
yeah. But
they are great covers.
They are good covers. Don't get me wrong, but I'd be excited to see Spears to draw other characters. You know what I mean? Like not just monsters in general, but like I'm excited to see what other covers he'll be able to do. His other talents, you know. Yeah. So it's like
I think people also are just excited that there's like a new horror series, right? People
right.
There's a lot of horror collectors out there, so to put out a modern kind of horror book.
Valentine's Day,
date movie, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Take your girlfriend to see Red Hulk, and then watch her leave your ass the next week.
Yeah. Or watch her fly. Fly away like Falcon the next week.
Watch her fly away like the Falcon.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but that's that was the hot list for cover page, and then CBSI was a little different, but not too much different. That list was similar. So it was. That's why I just pulled up one list, because it's the list. Both of the lists are about similar, but there's like a couple of different books on there, but they're similar, similar rankings anyways.
Well, what's interesting is we talked about Days of Future Past on this channel, and I just put it out as a flex book, I think, or rec book, one of the two. Yeah. And then it hit the top 10 list, and it's still on the top 10 list. And I see a bunch of collectors now rushing out to get the 2 copies. It's part 1 and part 2, right?
Right.
And
right. But not only that book, but the CBSI list had your book that you mentioned last week.
Yeah.
The one with Lobo and Guy Gardner on it. So that was number 10 on CBSI's list. That was the only difference on this one, because this one was number 10 was. Hold on. Number 10 was. Hold on.
It was the Monsters book, wasn't it?
No, number 10 was the Wolverine book.
Oh, the Wolverine.
Year 1 in of the Ultimates. So so the only difference was it was a DC book on CBSI. It was your book at number 10. Nice. It was a Lobo book at number 10, but that's what I mean. That wasn't that much of a. I mean, that it was a difference, but it's. But it's interesting just to see what what the 2 lists are, and I always look at them since we've been doing the show. I've been looking at the list, and every week it changes a little bit, but I noticed Jeff has stayed on the list for a while. Jeff was at 10, Jeff was at 1, and Jeff drops down to number 9. So the biggest thing about that is it's getting the younger kids into it. That's one positive about the game in the Jeff comic book. It's getting the younger kids back in actually into comic books. So it could be parents buying it for their kids. You know what I mean? It's like buying it for their kids because they like the character in the game. So that's I think that's a positive part on it. It's that they're I mean, I can see some negative, but there's positive parts that's getting the younger kids into comic books. That's what we want. I mean, is to keep it going, to keep comic books going.
Absolutely.
I mean, so that doesn't hurt. So it's like, the parents are into the monster books, the kids are into Jeff.
Jeff,
Well,
the shark.
yeah, not me. Yeah,
Agreed. Yeah. I
yeah.
think Superman's going to do that. I honestly think Superman's going to revitalize interest like the MCU did for Marvel. It's
Hmm.
going to revitalize interest in DC books and people
Yeah.
collecting uh, DC content.
I recommend you guys go pick up plenty of DC books now. Well, not even now, but if you're gonna pick up DC books, I would just pick them up now before Gunn's movie hits, and then in where you can't even pick up a damn DC book anymore, or where you can't even find them in dollar bins anymore.
Yeah, I mean the DC keys are relatively cheap still. A lot of
Yeah,
them, right?
yeah,
I mean, we're not talking golden age stuff. We're talking stuff outside of golden
yeah,
ages. A lot of the silver age stuff is really affordable still.
right. Yeah, like the
So,
team, like a lot of the Team Titan stuff is still like
oh yeah,
Deathstroke,
it's
yeah, and all that. Yeah,
those are still a lot of them are still they're
yeah.
not dollar books anymore, but they're still like $3-4 books, right? So
But they're still affordable though. I mean, even like of a decent graded or a decent grade, first Deathstroke is a couple $100. But
yeah,
that's
yeah,
still
that's a great example of like relatively still cheap. It's still a couple hundred
right,
dollars.
right,
Major DC villain, you're gonna see a lot more
right,
of Deathstroke.
right.
So that's one
Because
example.
he's gonna be, he's gonna be well. He was the imagination for Deadpool, anyways, originally. So you know, he was what was it that they were both, So it's gonna be interesting to see the DC books, shoot up there after this the comic comes, after this movie comes.
Yeah.
So
First Bane, there's another example, a hundred
yeah,
dollar book, right?
right,
First Bane is
right,
$100 book. Get that
right.
now. Get that now. That's not gonna be $100 book soon.
Right, because but when Batman actually faces him, or whenever another Batman movie gets announced, any of his villain books are gonna be expensive. But
Well, like they're
Miss
gonna do the Bane Deathstroke. They're doing an animated feature or series, right? With
right,
Bane and Deathstroke.
I think so,
So
yeah. And then there's gonna be, yeah, then like the like least expect last to expect was freaking Creature Commandos. Who'd expected that to do well, but James Gunn ended up, oh, guess what? Is doing well. Nobody expected,
yeah, they're gonna come to the big screen. Creature Commandos
yeah.
are from the big screen.
No,
Yeah.
I know that, but that they're already on they're already on HBO Max and whatever. But I'm just saying, who expected Creature Commando? Like nobody expected Creature.
Nobody expected
Yeah,
Creature Commandos.
yeah. Nobody expected it, but if you're a creature fan, if you're fans of those characters or creatures, yeah, that's cool. But I'm just saying nobody expected it because
Yeah.
they're like they were originally like C-list like just like Marvel did with Iron Man and all them. They were originally C-list characters, and now Gunn is probably going to use a lot of the C, D, F characters that nobody expects, nobody knows about.
I think in terms of like spec, there's a lot of modern DC keys to spec on as well
Right,
because there's so many characters that have just been introduced in the past 20 years
right,
that Gunn will probably use in the movies.
right,
Obviously, he's going to try to bring more higher profile characters in, like Sinestro or
right.
who's the Lantern Corps character, um, the alien guy. What's his name?
Which alien guy? there's a lot of alien
I
guys.
mean the one that's the really intelligent one, the big guy.
Oh, I forget.
Right?
It's gonna bug. Yeah, it's gonna bug me
Like
too.
that guy, right? Like he's right for introducing.
Right,
These are relatively cheap, but I'm talking that's relatively still an older book from the 80s. I'm talking
right,
there's a lot of characters just in the past, what, 10 years
right.
that
Yeah,
DC
like
has.
all like if they're gonna do Lantern movies, especially the Jeff Johns runs of Lantern, because he introduced a lot of Lantern
Yeah,
Corps
there's a lot of
members.
them,
Yeah,
right?
and then those are the early 2000s, so those are gonna be
Yeah.
affordable pickups
Yeah, I'm just
because
talking about all the Superman
yeah,
family, the Batman family, right?
yeah,
All the kids that are now there.
yeah.
Those guys are fair game down the road or an animated
Right,
feature.
yeah, like Jonathan Kent,
Yeah.
like Damien. Well,
And,
Damien,
he's dead,
Dick
right?
Great. Yeah, well, I'm just saying Damien in general, but Damien's, Damien's
Is he dead or
one
is he
that's
really dead or is he just like
a
kind of like,
clone.
I don't know. I hate when they like bring in characters and then kill them off and then you don't know if they're really dead or if they're coming back. You know, like I
They're,
just
they come back in a couple of
confuses
years.
people.
Yeah, normally they come back in a couple of years.
Right. We gotta bring Alfred back.
Well, Alfred's the only one they kept dead. They keep Alfred dead like Uncle Ben.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I
It's
mean,
like
so
not
far
my
that's
comic book world anymore. That's the disappointing thing about reading DC these days.
yeah,
It's like it's moved on so far from when I was reading it.
right,
Um, even the Marvel stuff, Marvel's moved on a lot too, but at least
right,
Marvel, like the core stuff is still like there, the characters
right,
are there. But like DC, it just feels like a different breed these days
right.
when I read it. So, all
But
right, well,
since
you want
we're
to
at
get,
a
yeah,
yeah, spec rec and flex.
let's do it.
So what?
Spec Deck and
All right.
Flex.
So spec rec and flex.
What's your spec book this week?
Spec book. I'll spec on Vampy 112. And it's yeah. Uh-oh. That's
Put me off
not
to the
right.
side.
Put you off to the side. That ain't right. I hit something.
Or you can
There you go.
you can make it yourself big if you can't.
Yeah. So I got it. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who's that?
So
Delbo?
no, it's a Vampy 112 and I think it's
Who's the artist?
what was it? No, should be an Ridge cover. So
Okay.
it's another Ridge. Yeah.
Nice.
With a bunch of eyes on it. But I just
What's the key of this?
The key of it is it's the last Warren issue.
Oh,
it's the last. So it's the last
Warren
issue.
Van Peet, huh?
Yeah,
that's a big book.
Yeah, it's the last Warren Vampy, and it's from '83, and
Right.
Yep, and it's a 8.5.
Nice book.
Yeah.
Good spec.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what would,
Because
again, when Vampy hits everybody's radar, which it will.
Yeah, I'll be already. I'll be far ahead of everybody.
All right, my spec book is, what's really cool to see is Superman books are just popular. Like you go on eBay, there's a lot of Superman books going for auction. Like the keys are going up for auction. You see people posting Superman books. You see people in their haul videos, raking in more Superman books. Like a good example is like Lunch Money Comics, right? That dude never picks up DC books. He's picking up DC books now, and he's picking up Superman books now.
Right.
So it's like it's very palpable. The effect of the impact of the Superman trailer is very palpable. So obviously everybody's looking for the next big DC book or DC key to pick up. There's a lot to speculate and lay your money down on. But if you're looking for a key Superman book that's relatively affordable, probably a low buy-in, but potentially, this will never be a big book, but it's definitely like a must-have if you're a Superman collector. So just given that fact alone, a lot of collectors are going to be targeting this. So it might drive the price up a little bit. It might go from $1 bin book to like a $10 book, possibly potentially more. But that is the Man of Steel #1. This is the first post-crisis appearance of Superman, and it was John Byrne's kind of big project when he joined DC. And it was again, this led to Superman being split into a second volume, new start for the Man of Steel, new origin story, new modern look, and the new origins for a lot of his villains. And this would all eventually lead toward the death of Superman. So it's like a huge timeline, big shift in timeline, major kind of event for this character. And to be honest, when this book was launched, shout out to Raph over at, was it Comics? I forget his channel's name. I'm just going to look up his channel real quick. But shout out to Raph over at Comic. Jeez. All right. Why doesn't Instagram make it easier to just look up people here? I actually look up his name. Retro Comics. Shout out to Raph over at Retro Comics. He did this great feature on like this window of Batman leading up to the Batman movie, the Keaton movie. So from like 86 to 89, just this great run of Batman stories, like just classic, legendary, and they all kind of happened during that period. Well, this book came out in 87, right? No, 86. This came out in October of 86, but it was so overshadowed by like Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, Batman Year One, was so overshadowed. It didn't get its proper like recognition as a great book. And this is there's no action in this. It's really a lot of just kind of like good character development, storytelling, like piece. And so that's what's tragic about it. It's a great run. It leads into, again, a new line for Action Comics. It leads into a new volume for Superman as well. So now that we kind of, again, at the time, this book, when it came out, just was lost in the Batman craze. Everybody's wanting to get Batman. Nobody cared about Superman. But now that collectors are refocusing on this, hopefully this era or this period, this is a book you got to get. You got to get the variant cover here. The variant cover here.
I didn't know that was the variant. I thought it was a whole nother series.
This is the first marketed variant cover. It's a great cover by Byrne too. It's him taking off the shirt. It's a close up of this shot, right?
Right.
The variant cover. So you got to pick those up. That's my spec book. This book is worth picking up. Could be a rec book as well, but I'm going with spec on that one.
All right.
It's got links
I got a fun recommendation book.
All right, what's your rec?
Yeah, rec. Yeah, well, this is an issue from. Well, these are stories from 1953, but it's kind of fun to read. Untamed Love by Frazetta. So it's kind of fun to read these type of stories.
Nice.
I thought, yeah. So
It's a
this is
Frazetta
the
story.
yeah for Zeta art and story.
Art and story.
I think art. I think art only. I think stories
Oh.
by him. Not I'm not sure by him or not, but
Okay.
but the artwork
Frazetta
is
wasn't known
pretty.
for writing stories, so probably not as.
No, I mean he did. He wrote he did what the heck is that the Tarzan character he did
Kaiser?
I'll think of it. No. That there I'll think of it next week. I'll tell you guys next week. But yeah, but it's kind of cool to see, you know.
So that is his
19
story.
Yeah.
Wow.
He drew it. Yeah, so he drew most of
That's
it.
a good book.
Yeah. Well, this ain't the Flex one yet. I'll show you the Flex one. Yeah.
That's a big book if it's a Frazetta comic book, like story and art.
Well, yeah, but these are reprints of his original 50s. So it ain't, you know what I mean? It ain't.
Oh, it's not the original book.
Yeah, the original one is from the 1950s.
Dang,
It's Untamed Love.
That's A game right there.
Yeah.
That's A game.
Yeah, it's just yeah. See, it's just fun to see the art and to read it. It's just fun. It's just a fun read too. So
Look at that.
Yeah.
She's looking damn good.
Yeah. So it's just a fun read. Like see, they didn't have Osagi back then, so you know it's a 90s book or 80s. You know, so yeah.
What's the original? What would the original be worth?
A lot.
A lot.
Original because Untamed Love was in the 53. It's 53. It's from 53, but
Dang.
there's a harder to come by. There's a harder to come by one from this. They released it twice. They released these things twice. I'll show you the other thing that they released in the 70s. Nice. But that's yeah. So I'll show you in a few. Yeah. That wasn't the Flex. That That was just a rec book.
That was a rec book. Yeah, the Flex.
That was a rec book. That wasn't even the Flex book.
All right, my rec book is. We talked about the first appearance of post-crisis Superman.
Yep.
Well, this is the first post-crisis appearance of Superman in Action Comics, and that is Action Comics 584. Another great John Byrne. This is John Byrne's first book on this Action Comics run. It's about I want to say it's a 16 book run in Action Comics where Byrne does the covers and the interiors and the stories. So it's again, Byrne doing a lot here on Superman from the get-go on this interpretation of the modern Superman. If you listen to interviews with him, he didn't change the design of Superman all that much. All he did was he made the S much bigger, because the S was throughout like the ages. The S was relatively small compared to his chest. But he just made Superman a lot more kind of like muscular and then expanded the size of the S, as well as changed the cape around a little bit. But overall, yeah, that's the new design of Superman there. And this is just a classic story here. I won't give too much away, but this guy is very heavily involved with this sort of whole scenario. And yeah, this is Teen Titans. You got Wonder Girl and Cyborg trying to stop this crazy Superman, and you got what's this kid's name? Creature Boy or whatever.
Beast Boy.
Beast Boy, yeah. Beast Boy is there. The Teen Titans are.
You're supposed to be a DC fan. You're supposed to know that. I'm just kidding. I'm just
yeah. I just don't care about Beast Boy. He's just the lamest of the Teen Titans characters. All right, let's see the flex.
Flex.
I
Show you
can tell by your demeanor that the flex is going to be a big one.
Nah, it ain't that big.
You get the gloves on, dude. You get the gloves.
It's Untamed Love, but it's 1973's re-release of it. So it's
nice.
So it's this one. Yeah, this is a harder to come by one because
is it signed or something?
Nah,
no,
it's just harder to come because it's harder to come by because it's 73
Treasury
and it's
size, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a treasury too. That's the main reason it's harder to come by. But yeah, it's the same type of art in it, but it's bigger. And I think these aren't in color. I think I have to look, but I don't think these are in color. I think these are black and white. I think.
Wow.
I can put another. Yeah, I think put another piece of tape on it, but I think these are black and white. The last time I looked through it, yeah.
Careful.
Last time I remembered. Yeah, they are black and white. I thought so.
Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I thought so. So
it's the same issue that you just showed.
Yeah. So
same issue.
Yep.
That you just showed, right? Yeah.
Yep. They're in black and white, and the paper stock is better on these. So
I like it in black and white, man. It just pops in black and white.
Yep.
Show that one page with her in the negligee.
Negligee, it would be. Let's see if it is. Actually, she ain't in no negligee yet. These pages are a lot thicker too, way thicker. Yeah, no negligee yet. Yeah, but yeah, see, so pages are different.
Yeah,
way different and higher quality too.
Thanks for sharing that, man.
Yeah, way higher quality.
You don't see every day.
Nope. And then
beautiful.
Yeah, that's who published it. Yeah, and it's yeah, but it's cards. It's almost cardstock.
That's good.
Cardstock.
That's better than newsprint, right? It's gonna last.
Yeah,
longer.
it's more like cardstock. I didn't notice that until now. I thought these pages were like brittle, but yeah, this is a rare, not really rare, but it's hard to come by. Yeah. That ain't really, the only reason I had to put gloves on. I don't like handling or anything old without them.
I should actually get gloves for this next book, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of you who've been watching my content the last week or so will know I won my fantasy football league.
Yeah. Did you pick up something?
Yeah, I won $900.
Yeah,
and was able to negotiate half of that for comics with my wife.
Okay.
My wife kept half. I got the other half, so I got $450.
All right.
And I already spent $250 of it.
Oh, okay.
So it went quick on eBay. It was literally 3 books and a piece of original art. So my Flex book is going to be an unboxing. Okay. Before I get to the unboxing, I want to show off the original art that I got.
Okay.
I'm going to unbox it tomorrow night.
Okay.
On the channel live. So this is going to be unboxed tomorrow
I have
night.
a feeling that I know who the original art's from, but I can take a guess.
Oh, who did the original art?
Yeah. I can take a guess.
All right, Dan, take a guess.
The one that did our logo.
No. This is actual comic page art.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's cool. This is a big.
Okay.
It's a big book.
It's a big purchase.
It's a big purchase, yeah.
Okay.
It's actual comic. I own the comic book of this.
Okay.
In my collection, so
that's cool.
Big. But we're gonna unbox it tomorrow. I'm not doing it here because I want to talk in ad nauseum about what this piece means to me. So we'll do that tomorrow. But we're gonna open up this, which I got in the mail today, and it's my flex book. But again, I don't want to like hype it up to be like more than what it is. It's a low grade book, not an expensive book. I paid $25 for this. I think I overpaid for what it is, depending on what the grade is. Based on my observations, I'm thinking this is like a 2025 grade. If it's anything high in person, if it's anything higher than that, I'll be really pleased. But I'm anticipating maybe a pop staple, maybe a couple tears. So, but all in all, it presents beautifully. It looks great. So, and this is a book I've been wanting. So, I'm gonna unbox it here if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. I like those when people unbox stuff.
First of all, this packaging is horrible. It was sent through not even a mail.
Bubble mailer.
Yeah. And it was wrapped in like this black plastic bag. Didn't even put like fragile or anything on it, so it could have been bent. Not seeing. Yeah, I mean, see, look, it was bent right here. So we just don't know what the condition of this book is, unfortunately.
Well, let's hope he packaged the other part a little better. But if you said
it looks like he's not a real collector. I mean, he there's a bunch of people that will just lie. Like, there's this book on eBay. He was like, it's a VG plus, and it's like a good minus at best. So he put it in this and then wrapped it in cardboard.
Right.
This envelope and wrapped it in cardboard. So horrible packing job. Hopefully the book isn't damaged. But again, it's a low grade book, so it's
right.
It's already damaged to a degree. But let's see what we got here. Yeah, nice. It's nice looking, kind of in the grade that I mentioned. What we got is Strange Adventures 207.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a classic Neal Adams cover here, and I've just been wanting this book. I didn't care what grade it was in,
right?
But there aren't a lot of books available for this particular issue on eBay. And this one I've been eyeing. Yeah, thank you, Miss So. It does look good, but I got to verify if the cover's attached. I can already see like the staples. I think it's a detached cover, to be honest, but I'm not seeing any rips on the front cover. Just a couple like minor tears here and there, but nothing beyond like a half centimeter, or nothing beyond that. Maybe a quarter centimeter. They're just small little tears. But I'll show you the spine here. You can see the staples are popped there. The two staples.
Yeah, they're popped, and they look a little rusted too from here.
Yeah. But all in all, there's a couple creases on the bottom there.
I mean, at least the cover presents well, so it doesn't. You can't. There's no tears on the cover.
Again, $25. It was 20. I won it. I won the bid for. I didn't win a bid. I placed an offer for 23. He accepted it. There was free shipping, so I just paid tax, and it was 25 at the end of the day. For a low grade, again, classic Neal Adams book.
Right.
And
a bunch of floating heads.
Yeah, I will take that, and I'm just gonna. I'm going to kind of take out the book and take a look at the condition, if you don't mind. Go ahead and, make yourself big, or
make myself visible.
Yeah, make yourself visible as I do this.
Again,
not the best packing job, unfortunately. But this is a nice piece. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a is that a rip? No. Yeah, the cover is detached. Yeah.
Mm.
Just gonna look and see if there's no pages missing. Yeah, nothing cut out of the book or anything like that. So that's good.
That's
These
always
are
good.
Neil Adams interiors as well.
That's always good.
That's always good. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean it's a good. It's like a 2.0, like I said. I was hoping it would be somewhat attached, and in that condition, it would have been maybe a 3.0. But with the detachment, it's likely a 2 at best. But no major rips or anything. I mean, it's still really, there's a small tear in the back. This one
Right.
here, that.
No. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's all that's really wrong with the book. Again, the detachment and that, and of course, just all the little micro issues with the book. I'll take it. And this is kind of expecting it to be in much worse shape than it is. So looks great. Kind of what I was expecting.
I mean, considering the packing job he did, and I'm surprised it survived that well.
Right? Yeah. Again, it's like low grade, but
right.
For me, it's a piece I've been wanting for a while now. So just really happy to add this to my collection. Just gonna be very gentle with it as I put it in. There we go. There we go. And bam.
Yep. Presents way better than that.
Put it in my
top loader.
Top loader.
Yeah, that presents way better than that.
Neil Adams' first work on Dead Man.
Yeah. Presents way better than that, so that's cool.
This cover won a Comic Fan Award. It was called the Artist Alley Award.
Right.
And basically just comic book fans voting for different categories like best writer, best.
Right.
Kind of like the Eisners, but the fan version.
Right.
This award didn't last long. It ran from 61 to 69.
Right.
But in 1962, 62 is when this book came out. 67. This book came out in 1967, and this was voted the Artist Alley Award for Best Cover. It really put Neil Adams
on the map.
Already stellar work as a fan favorite. And this cover features all these legendary creators at DC. And there's actually a reprint of this that let me get it out. I just want to show you it. I think I have it in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's in my drawer.
Ah, okay.
Myself.
Yeah.
this is the Neil Adams kind of homages his classic covers with new designs throughout.
Right.
I think in the last couple of years when he was still doing books. So we got this great cover here, this great Deathstroke cover, and he put Jim Lee, just Jim Lee right there,
Right.
with all these like modern legends. But yeah, it's basically, that's cool right there. Just to have the two books. I'm gonna put this in the back of this,
Right.
just so I have them together. But yeah, that's my Flex book. Low
That's
grade,
cool.
Strange Adventures 207, classic Neil Adams artwork. First work on Dead Man.
All right. Well, we're at like 1:31, so we'll call this for the night. Yeah. And we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Peace out, guys. Have a great week.
See ya.